remain stay for the session.
Tanya Israel. Ralph Bednarczyk soon to be joined by Steffi Samaras as you watch Group B play 2-0 Netherlands, looking like a strong team taking on 0-2 Italy. Italy in the blue on black, and they control the opening draw with Bianca Santucci off their straight line. Welcome to the Tanya Israel on the site of the 2019 Women's European Lacrosse Championship. I'm Ralph Bednarczyk. Second game of day number 4 has the Netherlands in the white on orange taking on the blue and black of Italy. Italy 0-2 and the Netherlands 2-0. And looking to continue to assert themselves here in Group B ahead of the knockout stage. They have a very deep team. Nelia Ostafichuk is in goal for the Italians. And after the takeaway, here comes Italy looking for the clear. The Netherlands had the day off yesterday after picking up wins over Latvia, 15-5. Or I should say 15-5 over Switzerland, 12-5 over Latvia. The day off yesterday allowed them to go watch The Lion King in the movie theater here in Israel. Mariangela Alvino coming off a very strong game yesterday for the Italians against the Swiss. As the Swiss battled back late but ultimately fell. They battled Latvia in their opener 10-7, another late push. Ball across for Erica Bolinas, and the ball on the ground. And here comes the pickup from Bellamy Persad on the attack for the Netherlands. The Netherlands, one of the deepest teams here in the tournament. Head coach Adam Gray, a native of Wales. As his assistant Taylor Brown is there is Ostafichuk coming up with the ball. His assistant Taylor Brown from the Denver, Colorado area. Played collegiately at Middlebury College in Vermont, but she has made her home now in the Netherlands. As a defensive coordinator, they'll run 8 different midfielders, 4 on each line. They will alternate 4 different attackers. 4 will rotate in on the low D, and both goalies have split halves. And this is a ball. Lavinia Jones has the pass knocked down by Louisa Koopmans. And here come the Netherlands. Dika Spitzman coming off of a super game 2 nights ago. Her shot, stick save made by Ostafichuk. And the ground ball recovered, Kimberly Feuerboom, who celebrates her 25th birthday today. Happy birthday, Kimberly. There's one Italian that also has a birthday today in Lavinia Jones, turning 23 during her time in Israel. Happy birthday to both. Kosha Hamink. And Hamink has quietly had a solid tournament too with 5 goals. The Netherlands, they've been able to spread the offense quite well. Koopmans, Persad, low shot, and this is wide. Bellamy Persad, and she is the lone lefty that gets that steady time in the attack. Hamink. The Netherlands will take on Norway coming up on Sunday. They'll get another day off. Feuerboom, as it's worked around behind from Hamink. Persad, as she looked for a pass to the middle, and here is Benny Ravelli. The Italians rely a lot on their midfield, such as Ravelli, Vivian Vitali, and Bea Marginelli, that will get a lot of run here in this heat. Adriana Santucci, she and her sister Bianca, both Canadian Italians that have played in the United States at Division I program LIU Brooklyn. They have been the catalysts as the rest of this inexperienced Italian team continues to grow with each passing game under the tutelage of head coach Victoria Alexander. Vic, one of the iconic names of English lacrosse that helped build that program both as a player and then later as a coach. And she has undertaken a building job, a culture-changing job. A ground ball collected by the Netherlands as they push it ahead, leading a 4-on-3. Down to the middle it comes, and the shot piercing the corner. It's finished. Dika Spitzman continues her great shooting. 6th goal of the tournament for Dika Spitzman. And the Netherlands get one in transition. So Spitzen on the push and Mika Den Bakker on the assist. And the midfield for the Netherlands has been their great strength. In talking a couple days ago to assistant Taylor Brown, head coach Adam Gray, there are 8 club teams in the country officially, 4 that are very much established and consistently play, but they have a lot of balance. The other number I'll add to that, they have 4 different draw controllers that they'll cycle through. So they're very difficult to prepare for. Bianca Santucci. Santucci, great hesitation, took at the cage and the save is made up high. Amarens Brandsma in her first tournament playing for the Netherlands comes up with the save. But we'll get the opportunity here, and after the ball trickled through, she's going to pick up the goal. Initially appeared that Brandsma had it in her stick and looked behind her, it was in. I could not get a great look at it as I was screened. But that is Bianca Santucci. The Santucci's came on late in yesterday's game against the Swiss. And head coach Vic Alexander is trying to balance that concept of trying to help them be their excellent selves, but also help their teammates as they are part of the building blocks of this Italian team. As the Netherlands come up with a draw control for Bianca Santucci, that's her team leading 7th goal of this tournament. Vitali with a good knockdown in the midfield. And then forced back in the foul, Dika Spitzen. For the Netherlands, they got a big opening game from Sarah Sweetsterlandis Viborg. Then 2 days ago, here is Ostafichuk coming up with possession on a deflected shot. And then Dika Spitzen had the big game against Latvia. And this is a very motivated team that the Netherlands have shown up with. They took on Germany in a scrimmage, played them to a 14-10 game prior to the tournament beginning here. And they did not have a good showing in the World Cup. Felt they underachieved. And that taste in their mouths continues. Here's a shovel shot that's in, and the Italians lead. A sneaky shot for Alena Anug. Italy has the lead over the Netherlands. Anug showing confidence in the shot. Did not have a cutter. Her second goal of this tournament. Progress is what Vic Alexander is looking for. This team also scrimmaged with Coach Alexander playing for the Beach Queens. They are really taking advantage of this time that they're here. And they've seen growth from several native players. Rihanna Ostwald Weidnes on the draw control, and she got it to the wing. Den Bakker, and there's a quick one to the crease. They work it inside to Sweetsterlandis Viborg. She is the most experienced player for the Netherlands and the only one that played in the U.S., grew up in England, her 10th year playing. 2 years at the University of Vermont for Sweetsterlandis Viborg. So she gets her team leading 6th goal of this tournament. A good feed to spring her from the midfield. Draw control again. Alina Oskam. Or rather, check that. That's Ostwald Weidnes. Ostvad Weidnes, and she'll remain here in the midfield. Feuerboom as well. Ostvad Weidnes cutting through. Feuerboom forced that look. A little underhanded shovel shot. The Italians staying a man-to-man. We've played 5 minutes of this opening quarter. Down low to the crease. A quick restart. They dump it inside to Louisa Koopmans. 3-2 Netherlands. So Koopmans able to finish with a left hand. And back and forth we go. Netherlands have also had sensational balance in their first 2 games in terms of totaling different goal scores. Koopmans is the latest to get her first. "12 different goal scores for the Netherlands here as they play their 3rd game. That might lead the tournament. Bokus. Switch to Landis Viborg. The swing to the top, and that's intercepted. Santucci reading the play defensively. Bianca Santucci. And Bianca Santucci off the face dodge. Transition looking for Adriana Santucci, and that's out of her reach. And the ball will go out of bounds. The Santucci's with Canadian box lacrosse experience. As the Netherlands transition it on this hot morning, we'll have water breaks consistently, at least 1 per quarter. Den Bakker to organize Spitzen. Spitzen drew the double. Capriati would not give up the strong hand. And darting through the middle, through traffic, unable to get the shot off was Den Bakker. And then Den Bakker able to re-dodge. Just great patience from Mika Den Bakker. Very dedicated to the growth of the sport in the Netherlands after growing up as an indoor handball goalkeeper. And she has been a one-time coach of the Netherlands U19 team in the past. She makes it 4-2. And the Netherlands have gotten the last 3. And once again, it's 4 different goal scores for the Netherlands. Den Bakker adding her 2nd of the tournament. Adriana Santucci, the draw against Ostvad Weidnes. Off the circle, it belongs to Francesca Pucci, the youngest member of the active team. I'll get to that later, a 15-year-old. As Vic Alexander says, we're working her in. She plays with a natural flair. Here is Mariangela Alvino picking up the early shooting space. Alvino especially impressed me yesterday against the Swiss. She is a usual starting defender, but she gets some occasional midfield runs. She tries to place the shot, and it was bothered. Easy save made by Brandsma. And the clear will go up ahead to Prasad. The Netherlands looking to run again. Bellamy Prasad looks to lead transition. Spitzen, and her shot was bothered and altered before it got there. Backup will keep it with the Netherlands. So the last 3 belong to the Netherlands, and all different kinds of goals right inside on the crease. As here is Landis, Swiertes to Landis Viborg. win the ball away from Capriati, and then her pass is not a good one. The pickup by Ostifchuk. So Italy will look for the clear. Alvino. Yesterday, the Italians were hurt by their third quarter. Today, they've hung around against an excellent team in the Netherlands. We've got a timeout on the field, and we'll do the same and return to Netanya in a moment. Very long water break here in this first quarter, and necessary with temperatures in the low 90s with tremendous humidity in Netanya, Israel, just off the ocean. This is a coastline location, so there is a little bit of wind, but otherwise very humid, and particularly on this turf field. Rather 2 days ago, they actually had measured the temperature to be 145 degrees in dry areas in the middle of the field, with the heat coming off of the artificial turf. Even when they water it in the corners, they have nice sprinklers set up here. That was 118 to try to cool it down. Bianca Santucci, a ground ball for Italy. So the water break's quite necessary. And Italy hanging around here with a deep Netherlands team. Lavinia Jones said before the game she hopes to get at least a couple goals for her 23rd birthday. Adriana Santucci, as she's leaned on defensively, very good job. Micah Teo playing her up the field and not giving away an angle or any rollback. Jones, space for Maraganelli. Out wide, Vitali. Bianca Santucci against pressure, trying to get away from Micah Teo. Santucci now will continue. Took it to cage, easy save. Made again by Brandsma. So Amaris Brandsma has been seeing the ball. Santucci did not change levels on the shot. And the outlet is a fine one. The Netherlands with Hirte Oldhaus. The Netherlands still in the midst of a 3-goal run. The Italians led 2-1. And this is a ball that comes in, a deflected pass into the new goalie. That's Giulia Melli out of the water break for Italy. She just joined the team 2 days ago after arriving after the tournament began. But the Ride will get the ball back for the Netherlands. Spaced maneuver for Den Bakker, and she shoots wide for backup. Giulia Melli just needed some time to get her feet wet. Started yesterday before being pulled at the end of the first quarter. The Swiss were in the midst of a good run. Ostafichuk is an in-rhythm goalie. This is Persad able to shoot over Bolinas. Able to rear back. You have to love the frame and the body type that Persad can be a tall lefty that gives offenses a different dimension. Bellamy Persad, an unassisted goal for the Netherlands, and they increased their lead to 3. Persad with her second of the tournament. Bia Marginelli, the latest draw control taker now for the Italians. Against Kimberly Feuerboom. Outside the circle, it's controlled though by Inka Dahan. The Rooster, as they call her. The Rooster to cage. And she'll back it out, look for a better shot. Louisa Koopmans. Persad. Feuerboom did not force it there. Marginelli and playing good defense. And the Italians seemingly feel like they've made a step up from yesterday's game as driving goal line extended. There's some good action and weaving through for Imka Dahan. 6-2. And 6 different goal scores. So the Netherlands continue to show off their balance. second of the tournament for De Haan. All but one of them, or make that two of them, have been assisted. So it's been patient dodging for the Netherlands.
Goal scored by Team Netherlands, number 12, Incan De Haan.
So the Rooster has her second. And the Netherlands, a team capable of dominating the draw circle. What a difficult team they'll be. There's been multiple coaches that have said to me that they've been impressed watching the Netherlands from the better programs. Draw control win. Prasad. Trailer at the top, and they pick up shooting space. Melle van Dilkt was coming in and not picked up. Melle, who's majoring in sports management, to goal. Wide of Melle. The open player in the crease, but a high pass nearly turned over. It was open for a period. Van Dilkt, though, recovers. Switched to Landis Viborg. Got it to Van Dilkt. Into the crease the pass came. That pass was deflected by Ravelli of Italy. Capriati controls. So the Italians here going back to work. As Italy looks to build this program as they turn it over at the middle of the field. Game situations is certainly another thing that they're quite focused on. Time and score, recognizing the nuances. As Prasad comes across, they sure miss having one of their leaders and founding members. You could call her the mother of the program. As here's Switserland is shooting, and she buries the shot. Good look, low to high for Switserland Viborg. She becomes the first multi-goal scorer today for the Netherlands. And Sweerts, who played at the University of Vermont 2012 and 11, nets her second. She's originally from Surrey in England. 7-2's the score. Here's our second water break on this hot morning from Netanya, Israel, and we'll step away from our coverage.
Open.
7-2's the score. The Netherlands have put together a 6-goal run. Sarah Sweerts de Landis Viborg netting her second. Second water break, or should say that was the end or the midway point second quarter water break, but the second one of today. We've had games where multiple water breaks were taken in a quarter as Bianca Santucci's fouled. No visible clock for these day games. There was one last night for the night games. And the Italians get one quickly. Bianca Santucci almost lulled her defender to sleep with a nice face dodge, and Bianca gets her second. Unassisted, Bianca Santucci is heading into her senior season in the United States. She scored 35 goals and 5 assists for LIU Brooklyn, a Division I program in the U.S., along with Adriana, who's going to be a sophomore there. That was a backup attack. And Bianca will also start on attack, but then play some midfield because of her defensive abilities too. Elena Anug now in the draw circle for the Italians. But the Netherlands will look to come up with it. Askum, the outlet, and the middle of the field, Bacchus. Room for Althaus. Here to Althaus. Good find, and a shot is past Melli. Quality look for Elena Askum. Askum attended high school in the U.S. where she learned lacrosse. Another dodge from up top. And Mika Denbacher. They'll put Denbacher on the right wing. Denbacher shoots it to the off corner. Nicely done from the right wing. A step to the inside and then shot it kind of going the other way. So Denbacher gets 2. First free position goal for the Netherlands. And it's 8-3. And the Netherlands appear in the group stage. They're going to be a very difficult out. What a game they'll have on Sunday with Norway. Norway winners earlier this morning. Good game against the Latvians, 9-7, where they played excellent defense against a team that has aggressive dodgers. Those teams in some ways will be mirror each other in terms of dodging, but the depth of the Netherlands could be a separator. Adriana Santucci. Meanwhile, the Italians looking for their first win. Italy has Norway tomorrow. So settled back behind. And then a cut for Bianca Santucci. The shot did not get through. Adriana Santucci shooting, and that one wide of Brandsma. Recovery behind Francesca Pucci, continuing to work. And it's going to belong to Pucci. Pucci attends high school in England, but she has a natural flair. Coach Vic Alexander, familiar with her, wants to turn her into a mainstay midfielder for this program. There is some young talent in Italy. They don't have yet a U19 program or a junior team, but a lot of credit goes to people like Sam Fiaschetti, who's a youth coach, who's formed the first youth club in rural Italy that has been invaluable to the growth of Italian lacrosse, and not just the sport of lacrosse, but sports being encouraged to young females. There's a ground ball turned over. Louisa Koopmans, and Vic Alexander especially thankful that you're not just developing players, you're trying to find coaches and leaders. To the crease, they get it down low, and the Netherlands work a slow break, and Dika Spitzen continues to shoot the ball at a great rate. So Spitzen gets her second.
Goal scored by Team Netherlands. Scored by number 4, Dirk Spitzen.
9-3 the Netherlands. But Sam Fiaschetti, who has gone several times to the UK to learn training and to learn the sport of lacrosse from people like Vic Alexander and others. And that's what it takes to build things domestically. You can get things started from an international field eventually. Perhaps maybe we'll be the first Italian national team coach that is a domestic. Push ahead by Bacchus, and Bacchus. Then we got the whistle. Hold on a moment, and it is going to stand. Switch to Landis Viborg after Bacchus ran the length of the field.
Goal scored by Team Netherlands. Scored by
So Sarah
Sarah Swerve.
now with 3. Switch to Landis Viborg played for some excellent coaches in the U.S. Her head coach at Vermont in the 2 years she was there, 2012 and 11, Jen Johnston. And great goalie, U.S. team goalie Alex Cahoe was there. Sarah began her career kind of back and forth. She played for the U19 English team, but also the 2009 Dutch World Cup team, where she was their leading scorer as a young player with 29 goals. Here's transition, and they look again for switch to Landis Viborg, but she couldn't handle the pass. Just a touch late from Louisa Koopmans. Final minute of the first half. And this cut over the top, and the shot over the top of Melly Feuerboom. Would love to get a goal on her birthday. Swiertes Landis Viborg. This time turns over her left. Over right shoulder shot, lefty look, 11-3, and she's got 4 to match what she did for the Netherlands in their first game against the Swiss. It's come here in the first half. And the Netherlands just show that they are not hiding anybody anywhere on the field. They are very solid. I think as assistant coach Taylor Brown astutely mentioned, they don't necessarily have a major star or two, but top to bottom, they are very solid. And over the course of a long week or 10 days, they can outlast some teams. And they can use different concepts to defeat quality opponents. Bianca Santucci, one-hand scoop. Under a minute to go. Santucci, and the pass is batted down by Van Dilkt. Recovery by Bianca Santucci. And she'll throw it over to the corner for Domino Giancarlini. Lavinia Jones. Under 30 seconds, there it is. No visible clock. So the Italians frustrated. They cannot get one more look. However, a huge second quarter for the Netherlands. They score 7 of the 8 goals. They're in control over Italy. The Netherlands looking to move to 3-0 in Netanya. We're back after 15 minutes for the third quarter. The Netherlands with a commanding 11-3 lead over Italy as the third quarter is about to begin. Game 2 out of 5 today on the fourth day. As you watch the Women's European Lacrosse Championship from Netanya, Israel. Ralph Bednarczyk with you solo for this second game. Steffi Samaras will join me for games 3 through 5 to close this one out. Another great slate of action, including Germany and Scotland to follow. Ground ball belongs to the Netherlands as they look to go to 3-0 and set up a very good showdown against Norway. Norway winning earlier today, 9-7 over Latvia. Bellamy Prasad and everybody will get a touch here, including the birthday girl, Kimberly Feuerboom. 4 goals from Sarah Swiersterlandes-Viborg, including 3 of which coming in the second quarter. Here's a takeaway by the Italians. Good play by the 15-year-old Francesca Pucci. You could just imagine this life-changing experience and what this will mean to her for not just lacrosse, but evolving as a person, playing with all these older players. A bump outside, and Pucci represents the future of Italian lacrosse and domestic Italian lacrosse. There's also a younger player named Elena. She is just 14 years old. She is here as an alternate. And she is not eligible to play in these games because she is so young. I believe you have to be 15 as the minimum age. Feed to the crease, but Elena is very talented and passionate about lacrosse. Dealt back behind. Quick stick inside, Pucci! First, perhaps of many, Francesca Pucci. Welcome to the world stage. She has her first career goal for Italy. As the Italian bench loves it, Vic Alexander says she has flair. And Domino Giancarlini made the pass, and Pucci found herself open from a difficult angle. The goalie is still Amaris Brandsma, so it's the first time that head coach Adam Gray of the Netherlands has not changed goalies at the half. So he is searching to see who could be his starter between she and Frida Berenson. Both have played solidly. Control belongs to the Italians. Maraganelli. Ravelli. So the Italians, they have shown signs of life of playing up to the level of this competition, as here is Anug, as she looked to come out in front and get topside. Pucci, as she chases for the ground ball, it'll be a foul against the Netherlands. The heavy pressure by Yannicka Baucus. 11-4 with the third quarter underway. So Pucci will hold it. And as I asked Victoria Alexander about building this program and developing players, they have a nice group of 5 to 6 that are there, and Sam Fiaschetti doing everything he can to learn the sport of lacrosse, so devoted even behind the scenes, putting together statistics, observations, things like that. He is a coach remotely. Annetta Ferreri, and Ferreri will dig out that ground ball along the sideline. So the Italians showing some grit. And they have some roles starting to be established in the last game for Italy. Here's a nice throwback. Pucci, good idea there by Ravelli. It was open. And Pucci may have dove to the crease a tad early. So the timing was just a touch off. The other way, and there is a shot off side netting. Back in cage for Italy is Nelia Ostafichuk. She's got the bulk of the minutes so far into the third game for the Italians. Francesca Capriotti. Capriotti is able to get herself out of some trouble, but the pass could not be hauled in there by her teammate down the sideline. She was trying to hit Annetta Ferreri. Nina Morsenkopf will restart. Her brother Jesse is on the men's national team. However, as I learned, Nina gets the credit for introducing Jesse to lacrosse. And she will, as I kidded with her, she's going to hold it over his head for the rest of his life. 11-4 the score for the Netherlands. Jesse Morsenkopf was here last year with the Dutch men's national team in Netanya for the men's world championship. And the Netherlands had a good showing. A team almost exclusively with Dutch residents. Persad, who's got a goal. Julia Getty has come in for the first time on the low D for Italy. Italy also got a good performance yesterday from Francesca Lero, who came in as a marking player. As a defender, she has some potential even for the next 2-year cycle for the World Championship. As Lero's stick skills increase, but she did a very good job against the Swiss. Feed across, what a good find. That was a bullet thrown through by Dika Spitzen. And Mika Denbacher will have to send her a bouquet of roses. 12-4. Spitzen comes up with her first assist. And she has played great the last 2 games. Timeout on the field with 8:20 to go, third quarter. 12-4 Netherlands over Italy. Mika Denbacher's third goal of the game from Dika Spitzen has made it 12-4 as we reached our first water break of the third quarter. Germany and Scotland will follow this game. You could watch it on the Olympic Channel. A Group A matchup between 2 nations that are searching for a victory. They're first. On the drive, here's a righty shot. Imka Dahan, the Rooster, has 2. And the Netherlands, it may not be the fastest transition, but they seem to space the field quite well. So Dahan gets her second. 13-4, the Netherlands now pouring it on Italy. The Netherlands came out and scored 15 goals in the opener against Switzerland, 12 more against Latvia in a hard-fought game. Draw control, De Backer. And Den Bakker as she pushes it, and then here's a goal from a sharp angle. That's a very nice tally there from Mika Den Bakker. Den Bakker with 4. So in each game for the Netherlands, they've had a player net that many. Switzerland Viborg against the Swiss. And then it was Spitzen last night against Latvia with 4. And now Den Bakker. (14-4) with still 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. So the Netherlands will have a chance to surpass their highest goal output here. They had a run of 3 goals against the Swiss from Kosha Hamik during that game. They just come at you in waves. They're a very difficult team for even established countries to deal with. And with the way they can collect draw controls, they could be a threat to some of the Group A teams. And likely Adam Gray, who is from Wales and is very familiar with the established European powers, one advantage that he and assistant coach Taylor Brown have. Taylor Brown also has spent a lot of time all over Europe. And lacrosse scene, that's a pass knocked down by the Italian defense. But they will certainly be reckoned with in Group B, and Group C has been dominated by the Czech Republic. They have proven they don't belong at that level. They have grown exponentially in the last 2 years. Switzerland Viborg as she collected that ball, but we had offsides, Lavinia Jones, as she got into the box to try to collect the loose ball. The Switzerland Viborg throwback. However, we had the whistle, and that's fortunate for Italy, as there was going to be an empty shot right on top of the crease for Louisa Koopmans. Shooting space as Imke Dahan was getting ready to go. Dahan and Prasad, and she dropped the pass. She was about to curl cut. And a rare mistake by the Netherlands. This one is batted in off the stick and saved by Ostafichuk. But Kosha Hamik knocked down the clearing attempt as Ostafichuk decided to stay in the crease rather than stick handle. And now Vivian Vitali bottled up in the middle of the field. A takeaway by the Netherlands in Hamink. Room ahead for Feuerboom. Feuerboom. Across it went. Switzerland shooting space. Sarah already with 4. Able to take it and misses the shot. And she tried to go low to the off-stick side. Another cut to the middle, a bouncer, and Ostafichuk makes the save low, one of her finer saves on Van Dilkt. Pass through for Pucci. Francesca Pucci, the clear for Italy. Bellamy Prasad. 14-4 Netherlands. Italy had a 2-1 lead. This was a 4-2 game of the quarter. So the Italians, they'll be able to take a lot of positives out of this game as they battled what might end up being the best team in Group B. The Italians in Group B rather than Group C because of the work they did in the previous World Championship. That was a team loaded with Americans of Italian descent. But they've made the choice as a federation, as this is a feed down to the crease for Hamink for the final 90 seconds of the third quarter, that they're going to invest in the sport domestically. And Italy's trying to do that across many of their sports. Italian women's volleyball has gotten better. They've sent several to the U.S. to play there. And Italy women's volleyball, I think, is on an okay level in the Euros. Italy women's soccer was in the World Cup with a competitive team as they look to get some more depth. A foul as Francesca Lero cannot handle the pass. And here's a restart for the Netherlands. But it will take time and perhaps a half generation or so. Ostafichuk making the save. Hamik on the run. Ball inside as Swiatek Viborg stepped in the crease just as she had a chance to gather the rebound. (14-4) is the score. It'll be goal line extended for the Netherlands. .30 seconds to go. Backup belongs with the Netherlands. They've had another offensive explosion. Cut to the front, they look for a bouncer, fought off by Ostafichuk. A great idea to bounce it for Dahan. Dahan recovers. Swiatek Viborg. Probes, fires, and scores. It does not take speed for her to be successful. Viborg with 5 to pace the Netherlands. So she continues to chase Sophie Coombs-Roberts of Wales for the golden stick of this European Championship, leading goal scorer. She has 10, and off the top of my head, Coombs-Roberts is at 14. We may not see much of Viborg for the fourth quarter, though the Netherlands, they play their entire roster routinely. As Van Dilk had the draw control briefly, that's the end of the third quarter. The Netherlands 15-4. They have upped their highest output so far of this tournament, and they are comfortably in front on their way to 3-0 in the Euros. quarter at 15-4, the Netherlands. And so far, the Dutch have not played a competitive game here in Group B, and that's all to their credits, as their coaching staff felt they had a very deep team, and that showed itself. And the confidence that they have in many players that are not afraid to step up and be involved. Bianca Santucci off the draw control win inside. Lavinia Jones had the chance to score a goal on her birthday. Ball will fly out of the straining area. Maris Brandsma still in goal, so that's the development for the Dutch to see if she'll play out the rest of this game. In tight, and a shot that could not be finished. A nice backhand wide by Kosha Hamink, who has had numerous scoring chances to try to get herself involved. Yulia Melli, back in the game for Italy, will play this fourth quarter to gain some more experience. So this will be the third quarter she plays out of a total of 3. She missed the first game, arriving later than everybody. But someone that plays with the Italian national softball program and works as an EMT. So an all-around athlete that Italy is using for goaltending depth at this infancy of their program. Skip pass across, and this one actually hitting the Netherlands player in the back, just kind of getting in the way of it, was Mika Den Bakker. Otherwise, she has played a super game. Den Bakker has 4. And Capriati for the clear. Marginelli. Fourth quarter underway. Throwback, Bianca Santucci. And the Italians get a goal back. Adriana Santucci taking the feed, 15-5. So Adriana has her first. She'll be a sophomore in college this coming year. Adriana's 4th. First of the day. A false start called against Italy on the draw control. Great numbers again for the Netherlands off the draw. They have not self-drawn much, but they've been very good in winning the ball on the wings. And especially against the Group A teams, that will matter a lot. Teams like Wales, especially, with great players such as Laura Warren, Noni Anderson of Ireland. Great hesitation move, save made by Melli. Everything but the goal for Dika Spitzen. And Spitzen put it right to the stick side. And that's one that she'll like to have back. Otherwise, she has shot a great percentage. Mariangela Alvino. Beo Marginelli, and for Capriati. The Italians, they've shown structure in the clear. Vic Alexander noting how this team takes the coaching. The next evolution of Italian women's lacrosse, Lou Scott, is a native of Wales. She is on the staff right now And this is a ball over the head of Adriana Santucci, and it'll be a turnover. But Lou Scott is about to move to Milan and be a teacher and athletic administrator at a international school in Milan. So she's going to start the youth process there. She can't wait to get started. Transition, shooting space is the call for Dahan. So that'll be yet another significant positive development for Italy. Dahan, and she tried the bouncer. And that's the way it'll begin. Hamink. Three-second was called as standing in the crease was the defender for Italy in Marginelli. So things are moving in the right direction for the Italians. The skip pass across. Vitali chases. As Zeta will come up with the ground ball. And now we'll look for the outlet. Had Alvino. Out of cage is Melli. First time Giulia Melli is handled since she's been in Netanya. Melli, though, stripped. Open cage. Switch to Landis Viborg as she waits, and she won't shoot. 15-5 being the score what it is. And switch to Landis Viborg will let the offense just run some clock and look to advance what should be a fascinating game against Norway coming up after a day off on the 21st. That game is going to be lined up to win the group and play for seeding. So that'll be a fun one. Norway's goalie and Kina Udgaard was terrific this morning. And if the Netherlands runs into a hot goalie, they may need some more assisted goals. The return, there's an assisted goal on cue. Kimberly Feuerboom. Happy birthday to her. Dika Spitzen collects her second assist. That's a 6-point game for Dika. (16-5). With a water break and a timeout on the field, the Netherlands about to celebrate a win at the Euros. 16-5 the Netherlands. At the water break of the fourth quarter, Bianca Santucci. Bianca shooting on the move, and Almaris Brandsma makes the save. This is her first tournament, and she's shown nice clearing ability, but that one a little too casual. She turns it over, and the Italians have it right back. Brandsma did not have her feet set. So the Italians with possession. Yulia Gary.
האמת שאם עכשיו תרשמי לחוץ ישראל עכשיו ביוטיוב, בשידור חי עכשיו.
Persad, she fires off of the stick of Melli, and Melli appears she should be there. Let's see. And it is her ball on the backup. So Yulia Melli will be in position to start the clear. Then a bad pass, and it leads to an easy goal. Cherry pick goal for Alina Oskam. The 8th different goal score today for the Netherlands. Oskam only learned of lacrosse while being a transfer student in the U.S., and she was actually playing on a boys team there at the high school she attended. Came back home, was so inspired, and she started the Alphen Eagles lacrosse club team. I believe that's in Utrecht. And unfortunately, the very first game that Alina played, she tore her ACL and then just stayed on as the coach and the organizer, and has battled back from that years later. Final 5 minutes. On the move, Freerboom. And Freerboom tried to feed it across for Persad at the last moment. Alavino. She has an outlet in Capriati. Down the middle, Santucci. And Bianca Santucci with the lane opening up, continues and fires the goal. That's terrific dodging from Bianca Santucci. So the Italians will have a chance here to win a quarter. That's 2-2 in the fourth.
Goals scored by Italy. No
As they make it 17-6.
time left. 4 minutes.
Third of the game for Bianca. Pick up by Bianca Santucci. And what a training camp, extended training camp this is going to be for the Santucci sisters before they head into fall ball. And this invaluable experience in so many different walks of life that these players have learned, and especially the coaches that get a chance to mingle with more established coaches, the developing nations. They get to watch other teams play. They get to have their players watch the established teams play. There was a great crowd of other teams that came to watch last night's England-Israel game. The English thoroughly handling the Israelis last night, as Aneta Ferreri will drop it down into the stick of Elena Onug. And that is such an advantage. And also to learn how to play games with officials, or in this case, 3 officials. So there are a lot of nuances that can be acquired. Pucci. That'll be shooting space. She was in the 8. 15-year-old Francesca Pucci has already scored.
2 minutes left.
Final 2 minutes. Pucci looks for a second, and she played it across. Did not get a lot on the shots. They send a double on Santucci. She looks to retreat and look for an open player. She had Pucci pick up inside, recovered by the Italians. Anouk tries the backhand shot, low save made with the stick. And Amaris Brandsma, one of the key conclusions for this game for the Netherlands is they may have seen who gets the slight edge in goal. I would expect Brandsma to be the starter Sunday after a day off against the Norwegians. The Norwegians, a team that dodges and they try to get to the top of the crease. That's a goal across the crease for Janneke Boelkes inside the final minutes. So Boelkes makes it 18-6. And Boelkes becomes the 9th different goal scorer for the Netherlands.
Goal scored by the Netherlands. 30 seconds.
And the clock stopping with 30 seconds. Hey, Leo, make sure you have 18-6, by the way. 18-6. Correct. 18-6. Pushed ahead, and off the face dodge will get one more free position coming up to the Netherlands. They've already surpassed their tournament high. Norway, a team that's very good at clearing and dodging straight to cage. Gearing up her hands and then firing is Imke de Haan. So that's 19-6. So de Haan with 3 with 19 or just a few seconds left. The high in goals was set by the Czech Republic late last night, 21-2. As they took care of the Swedes as expected. But the Swedes played very hard throughout, and it was a game that they used to make themselves better. The pickup from Santucci, who remains out on the field on all these hot days, and that's it. 19-6, 9 different goal scores for the Dutch. They are 3-0. After Italy played them tough in the opening quarter, the Netherlands just too much depth and scoring options. The Dutch will play for the Group B crown against Norway on Sunday afternoon. Dieke Spitsen, the biggest game for the Dutch. Spitsen comes up with 4 goals and 2 assists. Sauer Sweetsterlanders Viborg also came up with 5 to lead the way. Bianca Santucci, 3 goals to lead Italy. That's it. I'll speak to you in a short time on the Olympic Channel. In about 40 minutes, we get ready for Scotland and Germany in Group A from the 2019 Women's European Lacrosse Championship in Netanya, Italy.